Hey, Chiante Jones here, the financial coach behind Dollars and Change. So I'm on for my weekly video, and I have something that I want to talk to you guys about, and it's financial flexibility. So financial flexibility is a word that or a phrase that I use very often, um, and it's not, I didn't coin it. I mean, it's out there on the internet too. Other people use it as well, but financial flexibility. When I was starting to talk with clients and potential clients and really kind of dig into what it is that they are looking for or ultimately want, what I found was that most people are looking for financial flexibility. It's what I wanted myself when which is one of the reasons why I try to do a good job of managing my own personal finances. It's really financial flexibility. It's really about having options, right? I want to be able to do different things, have the option to do whatever I want to do. And that's really what the flexibility in your finances is about. And so that's why I just started kind of using that term when I refer to my coaching or what people are looking for. A lot of times it is financial flexibility. But I wanted to take some time today to really kind of define what I mean by financial flexibility, and share my perspective on some of the other financial terms that are often thrown around and used interchangeably in the industry. Because everybody has like a different definition of different things, and so I just wanted to share my perspective on some of these terms that are often heard out there in the financial industry, and also share some examples of how financial flexibility has been beneficial in my own life. So first, let's start with financial flexibility. What is it? Like, what does that even mean, right? What does that even mean? And so this is my own personal definition of financial flexibility, and it is the degree to which you have the ability to choose, to adjust, reprioritize, or take advantage of opportunities as they arise without money being a hindrance. So again, that's the ability, the degree to which you have the ability to choose, so choice, adjust, reprioritize, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise without money being a hindrance. And it's also just the ability to make financial movements and choices with ease. So you just have that kind of ease of movement. Money's not a strain, it's not a lot of strife related to it. So it's just kind of like the ease of being able to do different things with your money and have the option to do different things with your money. So terms that I often see, tossed around in the financial industry a lot, and like I said, sometimes used interchangeably, and they mean different things to different people, and you may have your own definitions of what they mean. But I just kind of I took some time to think about like, well, what do these terms mean to me? Like, when I think of these terms, what do I think about? So I just want to share my perspective on that. So one term that we often hear is financial stability. Like, so what does that mean? Like I said, a lot of these are used to mean the same thing, but here's my definitions. So financial stability to me is just meaning you're not in a financial crisis, basically, right? Like, so there are some places where you're trying to figure out how to pay the rent or whatever else. So to me, once you're financially stable, you're not in a financial crisis, you have steady, regular income that is sufficient to pay your essential living expenses, your bills are generally paid on time. But you still may have some overspending for like other lifestyle choices. You may, still be using some consumer debt to support those things. You are likely still, maybe living the paycheck to paycheck, or you're not too far removed from it. But as far as like your regular bills, they're paid on time. You have enough money, steady income, and a lot of clients who first come to me, or a lot of professionals in general, this is kind of where they are. They're financially stable. They know they have a steady paycheck coming in. They're paying their bills on time. Things may not be everything they want it to be in their finances, but they're not worried about how they're going to pay their mortgage next month or their rent next month, right? Like that's steady, good income coming in. So to me, that's what financially stable means. Um, the next and these things that I'm naming are I consider it like an ascension pyramid almost, like, so there's a bottom level, and it like each level basically your financial flexibility increases. So financial stability is kind of like the base of it. That's like your basic stability there, and then like I said, there's level to this thing, right? There's level to your finances, and with each level you get more flexibility. So the next stage is what I call like financial security, and you hear this all the time. And so to me, like, if you're financially secure, your paycheck to paycheck cycle is broken. Again, you have sufficient income to cover living expenses. Well, really more than sufficient income to cover your living expenses because you're also able to cover some of your lifestyle preferences without necessarily having to pay for it in debt. You may be able to continue to support your kind of more lifestyle, lavish lifestyle choices with debt, but there's kind of this growing desire that you kind of want to start eliminating your debt, or because you're looking for kind of more options and flexibility, right? And then there's the you have your savings established for to cover your living expenses, or at least for a period of time, kind of at least 3 months if something was to happen to your income. So you have some emergency fund built up, you have your steady income coming in, you're able to kind of live a little bit more freely, have a little more breathing room, and then you're often investing in your employer sponsored retirement account, so your 401k, and you may be even doing a little bit of other personal investing. So for a lot of people, this is where you're feeling pretty comfortable, and you are having some of the behind the scenes finances together, so you feel good about that. The next level is financial freedom. So again, hear this tossed around all the time. Financial freedom. So what is financial freedom? I consider that to be your financial awareness and your acumen is probably heightened at this stage. So your consumer debt is eliminated. So with financial freedom, I think about consumer debt free, right? And you might still have some student loans because a lot of times those are higher amounts and might take a little longer to pay off. You might still have a mortgage. But for all intents and purposes, I consider this to be financial freedom and debt free as far as like your credit cards and other more expensive debts and everything. Um, you are because a lot of your debts are paid off, you have more money to do other things with. You have more options and flexibility to make your desired lifestyle choices. You're working to max out your retirement and maybe other tax advantage accounts. You're also able to contribute to some other personal investments. So by this stage, a lot of your debt is gone, except for maybe, like I said, maybe your mortgage or student loans, and you just have more freedom to do things and more, again, like I said, as the levels increase, you have more financial flexibility. So then, to me, like the kind of top of the chain, the top of the pyramid of where you want to get is like this financial independence. And so, to me, financial independence at this stage, you are financially self-sufficient, meaning like you are work optional. Like you don't necessarily have to work a job in order to generate income, because you're outside of employment, and work is optional. You're able to, your personal income from your assets are able, and investments are sufficient enough to sustain and fully cover your living expenses. So you're basically self-sufficient, self-reliant, you're financially independent. So those are the levels of the, like I said, what I call the financial flexibility ascension pyramid. Like I said, that's something I just put together myself, where you have your first level is financial stability, your second level is financial security, third level financial freedom, and then at the top of the pyramid you have financial independence. And for each level, your financial flexibility increases. Okay, so that's my kind of how I think about the levels to financial flexibility. And so, what does that look like? What does that look like? And I'm gonna share with you what that has looked like in my own life. Having financial flexibility. So, some examples are being able to buy a house on a whim. So there was several years ago when the market was down during the Great Recession. There was a lot of short sales, foreclosed properties, and everything. So at that time, came across a great deal on a house and was positioned and had the flexibility to be able to take advantage of that opportunity when it came. So that's what financial flexibility allowed me to do. I wasn't necessarily looking to buy a house at that time, but was prepared enough to do it. So that's an example. Being able to put an offer on a new house while still having your old house, still having a mortgage on your own house. So that means you can put an offer in without a contingency to sell your prior house, which then allowed us to beat out a full price offer because the seller preferred to have no contingencies rather than get the full price they were asking for. So I know in today's market that is something, I've heard, stories about having to go way over asking price, and if you have a contingency, your offer pretty much thrown out. So I know it's a really competitive market right now. So being able to make an offer without a contingency makes a big difference, and it made a big difference years ago in buying our current house, but then also I know will make a big difference in this current market. Being able to, I wanted to get a new car, so being able to buy, a Lexus SUV with 10K down, and then because I wanted to have a payment that I was comfortable with, and then be able to get preferential, a really good finance terms on it, and then being able to pay it off in 3 years. So financial flexibility allowed me to be able to do that. Being able to, when I decided I wanted to start a financial coaching business, Been able to not only have the money to start the business, but then to also be able to invest in a program, a training program to help me learn how to start the business so I can do it faster and get the training that I need to help set the foundation for the business. So having the money to basically go after my dream of starting this financial coaching business and move it, make it to a reality. Been able to see a travel agent friend posting a deal for a 3 city tour in Italy and having the money readily available to be able to take advantage of that offer, right? So like being able to book that vacay and say I want to do that. That's Italy's a place I wanted to go. Unfortunately, COVID happened, so I wasn't able to go. But just having the flexibility to have the funds there to be able to book that because and when the opportunity arose, that's financial flexibility, right? Been able to get my eye surgery, correct eye corrective surgery. At the end of last year, I had an eye infection, and I knew, from wearing my contacts, and I knew at that point I couldn't play around with sleeping in my contacts anymore. I realized I didn't want to have to deal with taking my contacts in and out every day, and so I was able to pull the trigger on getting my eye surgery, something I had thought about for a while, but being able to drop 5 grand to go to the best eye surgeon in the area to get my eyes done. It's a quality of life thing for me. I didn't want to have to worry about contacts and glasses anymore. So being able to have that flexibility, have that money available, allowed me to be able to make that decision and move forward with it and get it done, right? So being able to accumulate, I know I talked about this in the last video, accumulate a 7 figure net worth, being able to, because I had extra money to be able to invest and put into 401k and everything like that to allow money to grow. So that's how you're able to do that. The flexibility to be able to do those things and put more towards that allowed me to grow a net worth like that, right? So these are all examples of how financial flexibility has, how I've been able to benefit it from it personally. And yeah, so I just, like I said, I wanted to make sure that, I use that term very often. It's kind of my philosophy about having options with your money. And so I wanted to share what I actually mean by financial flexibility and then also share kind of my definitions around the different stages, I guess I would call it, financial flexibility. And so that, we can, and like I said, that's a lot of times what my clients end up needing. That's what they're looking for. That's what people are looking for, that flexibility to do what they want to do and take advantage of those opportunities when they arise without money being this thing holding you back or being a huge factor. Um, Okay, so that's what I have for you all today. Financial flexibility. Think about it in your own life. What would financial flexibility allow for you to do? What has been something that money has kind of held, been a factor in holding you back from being able to do it? Have you wanted to, quit your job and or start a new job or do a different position, but like you're staying there just for the money? Are you in not the best relationship, but you might be staying there for money? Or, is there a school that you want your child, to go to, but money has been a factor? Like, what would financial flexibility allow you to do? And how what's the value of that to your life? Like I said, a lot of times that is what we are ultimately looking for. So when we, I focus on helping women eliminate debt, but really what they're trying to get to is eliminate that debt to give them the more flexibility to do things with their finances. Okay. Drop me a comment in the drop me a comment below. Let me know what you'll be doing what you would do with more financial flexibility. What's your kind of your dream of money? Like what would it allow you to do? Let me know. Start the conversation. So drop below. Let me know you were here. I want to hear what you want to do. And if you want to, if you're looking for more financial flexibility in your life, you're ready for that, reach out to me. Schedule a consultation. It's free. We can talk about, whether my coaching program is a good fit for you or not. But I would love to have that conversation. All right. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.